The Pacers now coming out onto the track behind our outrider Tia Schaefer. They are coming out for the Ben Franklin Free-for-All Pace. The purse is $500,000, the 11th running of this event. And we start with the one Keystone Velocity, owned by Allard Racing Incorporated, Capildeo Singh, Earl Hill Jr., VIP Internet Stable LLC, trainer Renee Allard, driver Simon Allard, Renee Allard, the leading trainer here at Pocono, and Keystone Velocity has won 3 straight, including his elimination, won the Levy earlier this year for a $529,000 purse, and he'll look to rake in another big payday here tonight. Number 2, Mel Mara, owned by Robert Cooper Stables, LLC, J&T Silva Stables. Trainer is Dylan Davis, the driver Corey Callahan. Mel Mara won his elimination comfortably by 3 3/4 lengths in 148 and 4. He's lost just once in his 4 races in 2017, and he is headed over $750,000 in career earnings. Mel Mara. Number 3, All Bets Off, owned by Burke Racing Stable, Weaver Buscemi, Frank Baldacchino, Panhellenic Stable Corporation, Ron Burke, the trainer. The driver is Matt Kakaley, and All Bets Off is the biggest earner in this field, over $2.38 million in career earnings. His big win this year came in the Battle of Northfield on June 3rd in 149 and 2, capturing a $200,000 race. Number 3, All Bets Off. Number 4, Rock and Ron, owned by Burke Racing Stable, Weaver Buscemi, RTC Stables, trainer Ron Burke, the driver Yannick Gingras. Rock and Ron coming off a 2016 season in which he earned over $390,000. He's into 6 figures earnings this year with 4 wins in 13, and his driver Yannick Gingras won this event back in 2013 aboard the great Foiled Again. Number 5, Mock It So, owned by Baymont Racing LLC, trainer Jeff Baymont Jr., the driver Tim Tetrick. Tim Tetrick, the only 3-time winner of this event. He won the first 2 Ben Franklins aboard Boulder Creek and Artistic Fella in 2007-2008. Followed it up in 2010 with a win aboard Vintage Master. Tonight he's aboard Mock It So with $1.8 million plus in career earnings, including back-to-back open handicap victories this spring at Yonkers. Number 6, Rock and Roll World, owned by Tom Pollock, Jeffrey Cullifer, trainer Jeff Cullifer, the driver Brian Sears. Brian won this race in 2009 aboard Mr. Big. And Rock and Roll World spent a lot of time with a layoff of about a month this year, only to come back in the elimination and hit the board as a 3rd place finish. 5 wins this year, including a 4-race winning streak in April and May. Number 7, Delta Winner, owned by Jeff Snyder, trainer Mark Silva, driver David Miller. David looking for his 3rd straight big stakes win on the program tonight. And David won this race just last year in the great showdown, Always Be Mickey, beating Freaky Feet Pete and Wiggle It Jiggle It. Delta Winner is coming off an elimination win at 9-2, won comfortably with a first overbrush for his 2nd win in 5 this year. And number 8 is Boston Red Rocks, owned by Peter Blood, Rick Burks, trainer Steve Elliott, driver Brett Miller. Boston Red Rocks won over $424,000 a year ago, was a big earner as a 2-year-old also. This year he's coming off 3 consecutive 2nd place finishes. Number 9, Shambhala, is scratched 6, so that leaves a field of 8 for tonight's 11th race, the Ben Franklin Free-for-All Pace with a purse of $500,000, less than a minute away.
As we've seen in the last few races, there's a lot of activity going on that you don't expect, a lot of long shots getting into the races, and this is an interesting race because you have to think that some of the outside horses are going to take a flyer, get into the race, $500,000, you don't want to be left out of it. My choice, David Miller. Who else? I mean, won the last 2, and now he's on another long shot here in Delta Winner. Last week he hopped aboard Delta Winner and won the elimination in 49 and 1. Spoke to Mark Silva after the race. Mark said David just gets along with this horse very well, and some other drivers don't get along as well with him, but the horse really turned it around in a big way. Outside post is interesting, but David just showed in the last race that he knows where to be on a racetrack, and he can put Delta Winner in the right spot. My second choice, number 2, current 4-5 favorite, Mel Mara. Mel Mara has come back 3 wins and 4 starts. Each start seems to get better and better and better. Speed, quickness. This horse has all the power necessary to win the race. And this is his moment to shine. I mean, Mel Mara had to face some of the greatest horses of all time last year and was admirable in defeat. Wasn't staked to a lot, but they've staked him up this year, and this is a good spot for Mel Mara and the horse to beat. My third selection is All Bets Off with Matt Kikali. Last week and the week before, All Bets Off showed a lot of the form that he had shown years past, where he just keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming. A horse with no quit at all in him. First over doesn't matter. Leaving he can do. Second over he'll be fine. So I think All Bets Off is going to be on the wire, but no matter what the trip turns out to be. Fourth selection, number 1, Keystone Velocity. Under the radar, but 5-2 here tonight. Obviously, the Rene Allard, Simon Allard combo has been very, very successful here and elsewhere. And Keystone Velocity in the middle of his greatest year of all time. A horse now with 908,000 could go over $1 million tonight with a big effort. And he had a big effort last week. Second, followed good cover and then just flew by in the stretch, 48-3. Simon Allard loves the horse, and the horse is also versatile. He can race on the lead or from behind. So expect Keystone Velocity to be an early player in this game. Ron Burke has dominated the age pacing ranks for many years. He's got, including All Bets Off, he's got Rockin' Ron number 4 in the race. And as Matt Kikali said earlier, Rockin' Ron was a little sneaky last week, but he left in 25-3 and was coming home pretty well against Mel Mara. So it was a much, much better effort for Rockin' Ron last week, and he may be setting up in a good situation right now. Brian Sears, driving Rock and Roll World, the horse that was purchased early this year, won 5 out of 10 starts and showed a lot of speed finishing last week from a very tough spot. And Rock and Roll World certainly with a 48-3 mark early this year at Hoosier Park shows he's got the speed to go with these. Even Boston Red Rocks 0 for 7 this year, but only missed the board once in those 7 starts outside, but he's always closing. Brett Miller hops aboard tonight because Tim Tetrick is going to drive number 5, Market So. Market So, a veteran campaign of $1.8 million lifetime, was good leaving last week, is versatile, but this is a step up for him, and he's going to have to really, really have his A game to win tonight.
The Pacers have reached the backstretch, and they are underway in the Ben Franklin. Good start for Mel Mara on the inner half, joined by Keystone Velocity on the far outside. Boston Red Rocks is showing, and Boston Red Rocks going to sweep by and take the early lead. Keystone Velocity second. Mel Mara chooses discretion and takes a tuck third in front of All Bets Off. Rockin' Ron away fifth, and Mock It So, Rock and Roll World, and the early trailer Delta winner. As they round the turn, it's Boston Red Rocks with the lead, and Keystone Velocity coming up on his outside, the quarter 26-1, and Keystone Velocity makes an early move this week, takes the lead for Simon Allard. There's Mel Mara moving on the outside for Callahan at 3-5, and now it's Mel Mara. Keystone Velocity back to second, on the inside, shuffled back to third, Boston Red Rocks, then Mock It So, around the turn there, fifth there, All Bets Off, and further back to Rockin' Ron. At the end of the field, Delta winner starts to move up. Rock and Roll World, the trailer, the half, 54-1, 28 even, second panel, rock solid fractions, but for these, not too out of control. Mel Mara leading by a length. Callahan not asking for much. On the outside, the first over coming from All Bets Off, while Keystone Velocity is snug in the pocket. Second over there, Jingra with Rock and Run. Meanwhile, Boston Red Rocks only 2 back, but needs racing room. Delta winner is third over on the outside, and at the back of the pack, Mock It So and Rock and Roll World. They're all chasing Mel Mara. 3/4, 122 even, 27-4, third panel. Again, not too bad for Callahan and Mel Mara. He's being pressured on the outside by All Bets Off. Keystone Velocity still there. Further back on the inside, Boston Red Rocks, top of the stretch. Mel Mara still by a length. Keystone Velocity uncorking now in the passing lane. It's Mel Mara and Keystone Velocity getting closer. Mel Mara looking for the line. Keystone Velocity. Keystone Velocity takes it at the very end for Simon Allard. Second was Mel Mara, All Bets Off. Third photo for the fourth in a white knuckler. Keystone Velocity sneaking through in 149-1. Keystone Velocity and Mel Mar really turned this into a match race. I thought Mel Mar, the fractions were beneficial enough, but Keystone Velocity is just a powerhouse when the line approaches, and he does it again tonight, picking up the victory. Yet another huge win in what's been an amazing season. Judges have posted the unofficial order of finish for race number 11. Number 1, Keystone Velocity finished first. Number 2, Mel Mara finished second. Number 3, All Bets Off finished third. And number 8, Boston Red Rocks finished fourth. Unofficially 1, 2, 3, 8 in race number 11. Moving into the Hanover Shoe Farms winner's circle, the unofficial winner of tonight's 11th race. Simon Allard's enjoying this a bit. And a little tribute to Hervé Filion as well. Hervé, one of the famous photos was him standing in the bike just like that. That's a nice gesture by Simon. And moving into the Hanover Shoe Farms winner's circle, the unofficial winner, make that the official winner of the Ben Franklin Free-for-All Pace, the one Keystone Velocity, a 9-year-old bay stallion by Western Hanover out of Venus Colleen by Run the Table.
Simon Allard winning the $500,000 Ben Franklin. This is your biggest win, right?
Yeah, definitely our biggest one. We never get the chance too much to race for that kind of money, but when we do, it's a lot of trust for my brother, and I really respect that. It was awesome, and you know, you get a little nervous, you know, bigger money.
Well, I mean, for someone who was nervous, you were rather aggressive out there tonight. I mean, you just you wanted to be nearer on the lead. I mean, was that the plan?
This horse made me actually pretty comfortable because he can go either way. Like, he can race any way I want. He's such a nice horse. So I said, David Miller just went from the back with the rail in the last race. If I have to do that, if there's a little action, I'm gonna do it. And if not, I'll get close to the lead. And that's what happened. And it set up perfect.
I mean, how did you feel on the last turn sitting behind Malmara?
I didn't like the third quarter, but I like the half better. At the third quarter, I said, I don't know if I'm going to get him, but Keystone, he's been a great horse his whole life. Like, he's been a really good horse, and he's got that, he had the target, and he just say, I'm doing it, you know.
Is this track his track? I mean, he was a 2016 Horse of the Year here. I mean, he loves this track?
I went 48-2 here. The track was 2 seconds off. This horse was unbelievable, and Rennie bought him right after. He said, this horse is something, you know.
Well, he was something tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And I've been hanging out with the Hervé Filion family, and it's really a sad week for Hervé that passed away. But it's I used to talk to him on the phone once in a while, and he told me, he said, kid, don't worry about it. Just drive your drive. He said, if you think too much, it's no good. He said, just do it, like the Nike logo. He said, just do it. So tonight I just did it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.